Hi there, everyone. Welcome to the short Vort for Parshat Vayeshev. This week we read of the story of Yosef being sold to a caravan of traders who were heading down to Egypt. His brothers hated him. Here he was, a young man, thrust into a life that he never saw coming. And when he gets to Egypt, he ends up in the house of Potiphar, working in that house. And day after day, Potiphar's wife attempted to coax Yosef into an affair. And Yosef, day after day, wanted no part of this. He wanted to do his work. He wanted to, do what he had to do to stay afloat, but he wanted no part of this. One day, the Torah says that Vahi Kayom Hazeh, one such day when she once again was trying to coax him, Vayavo habayta lasot melachto, he came to the house to do his work. And one interpretation of the Gemara about what it means he came to his work, it means he was actually, this time he was going to give in. He was going to give in. He was too much of the pressure from Potiphar's wife. You know what? I'm just going to give in to this pressure and to do something that I'm not proud of, but I don't see a way out of this. And this was the day when he ultimately resisted after she grabs a hold of his garment and actually he kind of tears it off of him as he runs away. And this is how he gets falsely accused of having committed a crime here. But why did he resist? If he was really coming with the mindset that I'm going to give in, how come he didn't give in the end? And so the Gemara says, one opinion of the Gemara is that what happened is that he saw the demut diyukno shel aviv. He saw the image of his father in front of him. I don't know if it was in a mirror, or, like seeing himself, was it just in his mind? But he sees the image of his father. And Rav Soloveitchik says so beautifully that the true gauge of the relationship between a parent and a child, how strong is the relationship, is not really measured by kibud avayim, which means to honor our parents, which is, I take care of their needs, get them to and from appointments, make sure they have what to drink and what to eat, and their basic physical needs are taken care of. But rather, the gauge of a relationship between father and son, says Rav Soloveitchik, is the mitzvah of moreh avayim, is about being in awe, being in reverence of one's parents. That means, says Rav Soloveitchik, that you respect them. You recognize their authority. You recognize what they've taught us is incredibly important. And as he says so beautifully in a yahrzeit shir that he gave in 1953, that as the memory of a parent's physical appearance blurs, right after a person passes away, as the years go by, right, the greater the gap in time, the stronger the moreh bond, this respect, this awe of them, of who they were, what they stood for, what values they instilled. He says, while the kibud wanes, Rav Soloveitchik says, the kibud can wane. I can't take care of a parent after they've passed away in that way. But the moreh, the awe of a parent, only grows with distance. And even though he was separate from his father now, with no seeming way to get back to his father, the image of his father reminds him, this is not our value. We have to stick to our values no matter what consequences come of it. And so Yosef doesn't give in. It's a really important lesson that even though a parent who maybe has passed away or a grandparent who has passed away in our life is no longer with us physically, they are always with us in the values that they have taught us. And that can actually grow stronger as the years go by. If we continue to remember what they stood for, to remember stories about them, to remember the feelings that we had about them, we will continue to feel connected to those who we miss so dearly in our lives today, just like Yosef remembered Yaakov. Even though Yaakov was alive, he remembered him, and that changed the trajectory of Yosef's life. Wishing everyone a Shabbat Shalom.